Please take me like Bobby. Heart goes beat so god. Splash on my brain. Wanna get you 당장. 매일 head 답답해. Wanna leave cannon or dash on your favorite splash on my brain. I dash on your face. But can't me so bad. You're such a splash on my brain. I dash on your face.
Okay, come out a lot better than expected actually, really happy with that. Just give it a wipe over with some towel. And I'll give it a blow off with the airline, but yeah, really chuffed with that. I'm still waiting on fixings, but I found 2 of the bolts. There's 4 which hold this tensioner on. Now what I've done, I actually fitted a new bearing in this probably a year ago or so. It was an unusual bearing, but managed to get hold of one. So yeah, I fitted that because this originally was a bit stiff, but now it's very quiet and moves freely, so really happy with that. But yeah, so this will go on there. Okay, so I've managed to give this a lick of paint, as well as the condenser. It's not in too bad a condition really, but I just wanted it to, I think in black, because I have a black radiator, it will sort of blend in. But all this is in good condition by the looks of it. Also painted all this up as well. I've just loosely put it in place. This is held on currently with a zip tie because I unfortunately don't have the clamp, so I'm currently on the lookout for one of those, but it holds it in place for now for me to check that everything fits as it should. So that's that. And finally, the box. I need to put this box back into the car, but as you can probably see, it is filthy. It's been sat here for at least a couple of years. So I'll give that a clean, make sure everything's good. Okay, so I've just got back purchasing these. This is a universal O-ring set, nitrile rubber. It was a recommendation that I replace all my O-rings in the system with these. These are so good for down to minus 45 degrees. This is just a universal comprehensive kit. This isn't directly for this AC system, but it looks like all the sizes that I require should be there. So that's great. So what I'm going to do whilst the system's out is take all the fittings apart and replace the O-rings for these. I'm under the understanding that the manifold on the compressor may have some O-rings that seals it onto the compressor itself. So yeah, let me do that now. I'm going to, it's only 4 bolts. I'll take that off and I'll have a look and see what's under there. Okay, so I've just pulled this off. I did have a bit of a struggle with this bolt here. It was on very tight and the access is very limited, so I will replace these. But as you can see, they are the 4 O-rings I'm trying to get to, and also it allows me just to give this a bit of a clean up. So I'll put in the new O-rings, give this a clean, and then I'll put that back on. There you go, there's the 4 new O-rings. And I've given it a good clean, so this is now ready to go back onto the compressor. Okay, so that's now back in place. Alright, so I'm happy to say this is pretty much complete. So I've given it a really good clean, and now you can actually see the original label. I was going to paint it silver, but I'm really happy with the finish, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. I have though painted all the pipework to match what I did on the condenser, and also down here I received my adapters for the new style gas. Unfortunately, the high side fitting, which is here, had the wrong size thread, for the condenser, or for the dryer. So I've ordered a new one, so hopefully that should be here in a couple of days. That's no problem, because that'll be easy to get to even if this was on the car to fit. But yeah, this is done. I've just added some foil tape because the original insulation was looking really tired. So that just sort of neatens it up, makes it look a little newer, a little tidier. So I've done that also. These fixings, so that one and this one. The zinc plating is really still in great condition. I've just given them a good clean. I do have a zinc plating kit, but I'm so happy with what I had with a good clean that I've actually left. I'm going to leave them and left them as they are. So yeah, that's done. Just waiting on the fittings. So yeah, then I'll be ready to fit. Minus just that fitting, as I just mentioned. Pretty happy with this. So that's also ready to go on the car, and this. So once again, giving it another clean off. I'm happy. It's going to be, you know, it's as clean as it's going to be. All the plugs looking really good, Nick. All the wires and everything I've checked. So I'm happy to fit that in the car also. What I've done is I've removed the grille from the front. I've removed the little bracing which goes all the way down to where that bolt is there. I've removed the two horns. There's the wiring just there. And I have a cooling panel which sits on all of that. So that's all removed. So hopefully that should be enough access for me to fit the condenser. So let's give it a go. Okay guys, this is the following day. Didn't have a chance to finish it all yesterday, but the condenser is now fitted. So this bracket was removed, same with the bonnet clasp. I removed that to gain me more access. Went in relatively alright. It was a bit of a fiddle to line up all four fixings, but yeah, it's in. The line is now fitted and fitted there in its original position, so that's all nice and tight. All of these lines and all of these fittings here, as I mentioned previously in the video, have all been removed, and the O-rings have been replaced with the new Nitrile style O-rings, so I shouldn't have any problems there. I will go round after it's all fitted and just check to make sure all of these are nice and tight and as they should be. But as said, that's done. Just here you can see the fitting ready for the next pipe which leads off the compressor. The compressor will be fitted next. That's now ready for the compressor to be bolted onto it. I now have fixings for that also, so yeah, let's crack on and get that fitted. Okay, as you can see, what I've managed to do is I've taken the pipes off. This makes it a lot easier to fit into the car, and then I can feed the pipes where they need to be and I'll fit them back on, so that's a really easy job. And surprisingly, not as heavy as I thought it was. With regard to fittings, these aren't genuine Toyota fittings, these are just fittings that I've purchased from a local warehouse. So these are 90mm bolts, and they've still got a shoulder like the original Toyota bolts would have. And I've just added a flat washer and a spring washer. That was a little bit of a mission, I must admit, but it's in. And there it is. So yeah, trying to hold it one-handed and fitting in 4 bolts was a little bit of a mission. I'm not quite sure if it would have been easier to do it from the bottom, but I don't have that option because I don't have a ramp, unfortunately. But for those of you who are looking to fit this system, and especially the way that I'm currently doing it, just a bit of advice which I learnt is, so this lower bolt this side, I recommend you actually put that in the pump before you lower the pump down to try and fit it, because otherwise with the length of the bolt that you require, it hits the anti-roll bar and you cannot get the bolt in. So put that one in first, all the others will go in with this in situ as it is now, but that one I recommend putting it in first. So it's a little top tip for you guys. The belt I haven't ordered yet, I'm not sure what size bit is, so I'm currently just going to measure it with a bit of shoelace, the old school way, and go down to my local Motor Factors, and I'm sure she'll have one on the shelf. So now it's just a matter of fitting these two back on, and then yeah, get the box in, put the two fittings to the box, and hopefully that's all done. So let's crack on and do that. That's the first one fitted, so easy enough to get to the compressor. What I have found is though, I don't know where this bolts onto, so I'm going to wait till the rest of it's fitted to find out where this fits, but at the moment it makes no sense. One thing I did make sense of, if I can show you, is this clamp just here. There's a hole in this front panel, and there's a rubber grommet, and it goes through that hole, and there's basically just a nut either side to hold it on. So yeah, that made sense, that one. But this one, unfortunately, I have no idea where that clamps, so I'll do a bit of research, and yeah, we'll go from there. That's the other one done. Okay, so these are the wires for the compressor, and when I first bought the car I didn't actually know what they were for, but now it makes complete sense. So what I did is I just cable tied them so they were neat and tucked out the way behind the battery, but now I'll snip the cable tie and I'll plug these in. Okay guys, so regarding the clamp that was on this pipe, which is here, I've managed to find an image of a little clamp which, by the looks of it, would bolt onto the battery tray itself and then allow this clamp to then bolt onto that. Parts like that are quite hard to get for these cars now, so unfortunately I haven't had any luck finding one. I have asked a few of my contacts if they could find me one, so fingers crossed, but for now I'm just going to run it as is. It's not going to go anywhere, it's not fouling anything, so I'm happy with that. With regard to the clamp which this bolts onto, once again, the same. I've asked if anyone has one, but if not, I do have some aluminium spare, and I'll probably just make one for now, to be fair, until I can find one, and then I'll replace it. Okay, there you go guys. Just got to drill the holes. I tried replicating the shape of the original, but yeah, I'll drill the holes, lick of paint, it'll do the job. There you go, all done and secure. Really happy with the finish. I didn't paint it in the end, I just went over it with some Scotch pad, and being aluminium it won't rust. But yeah, really chuffed with that. And I knew I'd end up doing it, and I've made a bracket, and I've removed the battery, and I will be fixing this to that. And you can just about see the hole. And that's what I'll be fitting into, so I'll do that now. And that's that one fitted. So yeah, that'll do the job for now, and if I am lucky enough to find the original items, then I'll replace them, but for now that's going to do exactly what it needs to do, and didn't take long at all. So now I know I can put the battery back and it doesn't have to come back out. Okay, so after the success of the brackets that I've made, I've decided I'm going to go make a bracket for the dryer also. So yeah, just cut some aluminium, and I'm going to roll it, drill some holes, and have a bolt just to pinch it together. So I'll do that now. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Just rolled it around a paint can. These will close up like that, and I'll just drill a couple of holes and use a little pinch bolt, paint it black to match the dryer. Another good little bracket made, to be fair. Correct fitting for the high side, that's on. And if you can see down here, the new belt arrived as well, just for those of you who need to know. It's a 5-puck 800 length, and that's on and secure, so that's another job done. Okay guys, that's that bracket complete. Just used a nut and a bolt to pinch it together. So yeah, just turn the car around just so I've got more access, because I now need to gain that. So I'm going to remove the glove box, and that will gain me access to refit the box which is there. So yeah, I'll crack on and do that now. Okay, so that's that removed. Just screw there, screw there. Just got to pull out these bungs each side. So easy job. This is what you're left with. So obviously the box, as I say, was removed quite a few years ago by myself. I did have an old box in there just as like a blank. But yeah, so this bracket here just sits along there. So there's two 10mm bolts to remove that, gains you a lot more access. And just basically a few screws, a few 10mm screws like this one, and a couple of standard screws like this one. Once you find them all, there's two nuts at the top also, just up in here. You remove those and the box comes out really easy. So yeah, let's get the new one in. Okay, so just to let you know, this here, the control panel, I'm not quite sure what it does. I don't know if it's the power, but I have swapped this over from my original box, which originally came in this car, just to make sure. That's another recommendation that I was told. So just let you guys that this is swapped over, but the box is a later gen and it's slightly different, but it should fit, so let's give it a go. Okay, so got it in. So yeah, that should hopefully work, but we won't know until we charge the system up and give it a run. Okay, all done. All tightened up. Got some new grommets as well, just to neaten the holes up. Yeah, all done, all tested, fitted. So as I mentioned, it's just a matter of getting the system cleaned out, gassed up, pressurised, tested. Fingers crossed, all is good. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and it gives you an insight on what's required to fit an AC system. It's how I did it anyway. As I say, get it tested, pressurised, hopefully all's good. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and be awesome if you could subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next video. So cheers for watching,